I like to drive fast. I want the car to drive straight and performance-wise. I want it to be 100% on par with anything else. This car, there's a guy, Mac Ninja, on NSX forums. All he does is rebuild NSXs. This was one of the cars he rebuilt. I saw step by step everything that happened. There was the back end was whacked in the back corner and a little bit in the front corner, but I saw every single piece that went on. I saw the repair process. And normally I wouldn't buy a salvage car just for my own personal whatever. But this car, I was specifically, when I was looking for an NSX, I was looking for yellow or blue, preferably this exact color, this exact 02 to 04, 05. 6-speed Targa. I was very specific. I didn't want a blue interior. I didn't want a yellow interior. But other than that, I was fairly open. And there were no Long Beach Blue Pearls, which this is, available. I jumped on this car as soon as I saw it. I had my friend Michael Bauman, who is a big NSX guy. He's got like an 8,000-mile 05 orange, which is probably worth $1 trillion by now. But I had him. He was in Chicago. He checked out the car for me, drove it, said everything was on point except for a couple of rock chips and everything, which to me means absolutely nothing. And I am extremely happy with this. I bought this car probably $15,000 less than I would have had to pay for a comparable car at the time because of the rebuilt title. It drives perfectly. It performs as well as any other NSX on the road. I'm happy with the purchase. So the same with the guy who bought the 458. Another good example of when to buy a frame damage or salvage car is when exotic cars crash, they're much more expensive to repair. And especially when you have the weenie owners that try to milk oh yeah, it's a nick here, I'm gonna need a whole new front bumper. And some insurance companies, it's just not worth the fight. So a lot of cars get salvaged out just because of the parts cost on them when they shouldn't. The SLR McLaren, for example, that the guy hit in the front on that side, broke the wheel off, and there was a little fender damage and everything like that. That car was worth $200,000 at the time, maybe $225,000. And according to the parts prices through McLaren and SLR, it was like $450,000 in damage. And that was such a repairable, if you look objectively at the actual damage it was on the car, that on any car is a repairable, very simple repair. And on that car, it ended up totaling out the car. So now you have a car that got totaled out for no reason when it's just the unreasonable price of parts was too high. So that being said, if you do your homework, if you have a car that's damaged, there's a better way, and there's got to be a better way going forward, because a lot of people, there's a lot of money to be made and lost in repairing and fixing and selling damaged cars. A lot of it is shady. The car industry is very sketchy with odometer rollbacks, flood repairs, damaged, salvage title, changing the titles over. There's a lot of cars out there, probably of the cars that are crashed, probably 40 or 50% of them people don't even know they were crashed. They don't show an accident history on them. You can't trust just the Carfax or the auto check that you see on eBay or stuff. We've had cars that have been in accidents, we've sold it, and the auto check and Carfax don't even show the accident, even though we sold it as scrap. So stuff like that takes a while to register. Sometimes people get surprised by stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you just want to sort of do your homework as best you can. There is a path forward in the future somewhere. One of those that's just starting to see the light of day is VinWiki. Ed Bolian, the guy who did the cross-country record works down selling Lamborghinis in Atlanta, did this, and he's got something that's trying to catalog the use of a car from sale to sale to sale and all the individual owners across the board. It's a good start. I mean, that's really what you should do. There's every product out there is to try to like give somebody a reason to devalue your car. There's no real product out there that increases the value of the car. Like with baseball cards and everything else now, they have to be GSA, PSA, GSA, whatever it is, certified in order for the card to have full value. I think cars, you should buy something. It's a subscription. You enter all the details on the car, gets checked out every once in a while, all this stuff that increases the value of your car. Hey, yeah, see, it was in an accident. Somebody hit it in the parking lot. It repainted here. First thing a wholesaler does is he walks up and hits it with a paint meter and says, this car was in an accident. There's cars that get damaged before they even get to the dealer to be sold initially. They get damaged on the port. They get damaged on the boat. They get painted and sent over, and you have no idea they were damaged beforehand. So, and then you're going to own a car that's never been in an accident, that somebody's going to think is in an accident. It's going to devalue the car. It's all a big game. So if you objectively look at a car as a fun toy, and you can look at the repair process, see if anything was wrong with it, and pay an accurate price for it, you're in good shape. Be very careful. You don't want anything that was twisted or anything along those lines that's going to be a potential safety hazard or something that somebody eBayed together. that's all going to cause you trouble in the future. But if you see repair invoices with factory parts, good stuff, even good aftermarket parts, it may be a good deal for you. Something to keep an eye on. Don't discount the rebuilt or salvage title cars. As long as you go out and do your homework and make sure you're getting something good and do a PPI on it, you could be driving something sitting pretty for a fraction of the cost somebody else is paying. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.
Okay, boys and girls, or whatever you identify as, I am at U-Haul right now. It's about 7:22 in the morning, and we're gonna see if we can get some stuff done today. Now, today is gonna be a very long and interesting day because I have to get a trailer, I have to go to the RMV, I have to do all kinds of stuff today, and the salvage inspection today is for Dolores, so today's a pretty big day. I think today and figuring out whether or not she can supercharge are probably the two biggest days that I'm gonna have in a long time. U-Haul is one of those weird places that for some reason is very, very, very understaffed no matter when I come here. So whenever I come here, there's no one working at the desk. I think they have one person here throughout the entire day to keep you as frustrated as possible. What I should do, I should probably just start taking stuff. I bet you if I start taking stuff, that's when the alarms will be set off. All right, I'm just gonna walk around for another 45 minutes until someone shows up. All right, so I got my trailer, and the thing I'm frustrated about is they probably gave me the most rickety, rink-a-dink trailer I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this thing looks like it was beat to death multiple times. It looks like someone forklifted a Tesla Model S directly onto this and destroyed the rear fender. I don't know who did that. Yeah, now you're touching it, yeah. The thing that bugged me about being in there is that there were a lot of customers complaining about how long they had to wait. The thing is, it's that, stop complaining. If you don't like waiting in line, buy a trailer or buy a van. Let's look at how sexy Dolores looks one more time. Man, she's sexy. Gosh, man. Can't get over how sexy this car is. All right, so let's see. There's a couple things that I have to do still. I have to finish up the frunk for this car, and I have to check the paperwork. I have to bring a check to pay for the inspection. The most ridiculous thing ever is I have to pay for the inspection at the RMV as opposed to paying at the inspection place. So I have to pay beforehand, then bring it to the inspection place to prove that I paid. I have to bring a check, and what else do I have to do? I also have to get air in the tires of the Tesla, because guess what? If you step on the brake of the car, which I don't have the key, so this is kind of pointless, but I actually got the error message to go away about the tire system, which is awesome. So I actually drove the car just around the block a few times. I got up to about 20 miles an hour. For about maybe 30 seconds or so, and after driving around for maybe like a minute, the error message went away and it said the tires were calibrated, which is fantastic. However, it is now measuring the tire pressures in each wheel, and it's saying that one of the tire pressures is low. And the thing that stinks about these older cars, which drives me crazy, is that I can't tell what tire it is. So I have to keep putting pressure in each wheel, and essentially till the light goes away. And hopefully the light does go away in time for the inspection, because if they see that message, they're probably gonna freak out. Let's take a look-see. I gotta finish the rest of this frunk. Ta-da! Looks pretty good. I'm gonna put it in the trailer as high as it can go, just so it could clear the trailer lip. And then, man, how am I gonna get out of this thing? I may have to get out of the rear doors because the fenders for the trailer are kind of high. Sorry, not high, but they're very forward, so I might not be able to open these doors. Set her up to high. Suspension, very high. Kind of see it going up a little bit. See that? Kind of cool, huh? Let's get her out here. Front trunk, yeah. Get over yourself. So now I'm backing out. It's gonna require a lot of skill to do this by myself. This is something that's not exactly easy to do. Let's see how far I get. let's take a quick pause here. Because once I do this, I'm not getting out of this car anytime soon. Okay, it's definitely on there pretty good. Wow. Not much room for error. Ooh, okay. This would have been a bad situation. This car is a lot wider than I thought it was. Do I have room here? Yeah, not much. Oh boy. I'm gonna bring her to the right a bit. All right, you don't have to see this whole thing. I'm gonna figure this thing out eventually. All right, well, I think I did it. The only issue is I gotta get out of this car using the back seat. And I'll tell you something. There's a couple things that hurt me. And one of them is definitely the fact that, oh, okay, I can't get out. Holy crap. I can't get out. Huh. Well, that's not good. Guess I'm going out the back. Jeez Louise. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. Man, this thing is on there. This car is on there. How curbed are these wheels? Yeah, these are pretty curbed. Oh, crap. Oh, my poor wheels. Or should I say my wife's poor wheels. That rash is all the way around. That's all right. I'll get them refinished. Not a big deal. But she's on there. One thing that hurt me are the wheel spacers. Look at the car on this side. It's flush to right there. On the other side, it's actually over. So this car is freaking wide. It's wide. But she's on. You know, I'm gonna strap her up, and this is how she's gonna get to the inspection place. Now that the Loris is loaded up, let's just get to one of my favorite features on my truck is the air suspension that I added. This makes it so that, oh, it's already has some PSI in it. Okay, 15 PSI, interesting. Let's get the other side. All right. Oh wow, yeah, there's already PSI in there, which is why the rear end of the truck isn't sagging, so it should be able to handle this load with no problem. I have to go to the gas station still and fill up each tire with, I think it's 45 PSI. I just tested a couple of them, and it showed that they were at 30, which is probably what I would expect most people to fill them up at, not knowing how much PSI these cars need in the tires. Okay, so I'm parked here taking up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 parking spaces. This is the worst setup for an RMV I've ever seen in my entire life, so the car's gonna stay here for a little bit while I walk over to the RMV. It's still relatively early. It's like 9, I don't know, 45 in the morning or so, and hopefully it shouldn't be that crazy. The whole setup of the RMV doesn't make any sense to me for this specific example, because you have to go here and pay for the inspection as opposed to going to the actual inspection place to pay. So it's just adding an additional step, which I don't think is needed, but hey, what do I know? Okay, a lot of cars in the parking lot and a line out the door, so that's not a good sign. I can't even get in to get a number yet. All right, I paid my fee. I just paid $50 for a sheet of paper saying that I paid $50. So that was about an hour and a half in there. It wasn't that bad, but I'll tell you one thing right now. The thing is that the guy at the place, he was cool.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Where's the RMV?
RMV? Go down here and you take a right. You'll see a line of people out there. You'll see them. Go here, see where that guy's walking right now? Follow him in there. You'll see it. Sure. So yeah, the guy was cool. The guy said, hey, you know what? Oh, you're registering a Tesla, huh? You got a salvage Tesla? I was like, yeah. And he said, well, it's awesome, it's a Tesla, but you know, it's a salvage title. I was like, yeah, but it's a Tesla. And he was like, shoot, yeah, you're right. So he asked me a bunch of questions about it. He wanted to know, you know, how long it took to charge, where I plan on plugging it in, if I have a home charger at home, and all interesting questions. He was genuinely interested in the car, and he said he wanted me to stop by again so he could actually see it once it's inspected and everything. So that was cool. You know, I mean, it really, I'll tell you, the car is very interesting, but it definitely brings a lot of people together. It brings a lot of questions. People ask a lot of questions about it because they're genuinely interested in the tech. So I'm gonna head off to the salvage inspection place right now to see where that portion of the story takes me. All right, so here we are. I'm at the police inspection place, and the guy immediately came out and said that not to take the car off the trailer. So I'm not feeling very good about this at all. I have a feeling that he may send me packing, but here she is with her doors up, with her everything up, and they took my paperwork and they're gonna look over it to see whether or not they could find VIN number information. They gave me a hard time about the glue that I used to reseal the headlights, but that was my personal thing. You know, he went through the talks about how it's a flooded car and I have to replace all the electronics, and I told him that, you know, I did that, and he said that even still things may pop up later on. Again, the car's still on the trailer. He took my paperwork, he took the R&V forms, he took everything that I've been working on this morning, and he's gonna look at a few things. His main focus is to make sure that none of the parts were in fact stolen. There were a couple of things on the receipts that were handwritten, and I think he wants to verify that, you know, I didn't write it, and those were official documents, and nothing was falsified, and everything's legitimate. But you know, it's looking kind of tough right now. You know, it's definitely tough. He may send me packing. I may have to go home. I don't know. I don't know what today's gonna hold for me. I mean, the car looks great sitting here in the trailer, but you know, he assured me, you know, don't take it off the trailer. There's a lot of things I have to check. I gave him my VIN. He wants other things from the insurance company that I don't have. He just wants to check a few things over. I understand he's just doing his job, and you know, I can't fault him for that, of course. You know, this is what he was assigned to do. But at this point, I'm just kind of waiting. I hope that he gives me good news. I hope that he tells me I'm not SOL. He was talking about having VIN numbers on the battery pack that from the car that was replaced, and you know, I told him, hey, you know, I don't believe that there are VIN numbers stamped on the packs. However, there are part numbers on them. He said no, he wants to make sure that there's a VIN number on the battery, and I don't think those are things that could actually happen. This is really tough. This is a really tough one. It's already noon. I'm not at work yet. It's hard. It's really hard. So I'm gonna wait and see what he comes back with. You know, even if he sends me packing, you know, I want to know that there's a chance that I could still get the car on the road successfully. So earlier, I went to a gas station and I put up the tires to 45 psi. The TPMS light was going off saying that there was low tire pressure, so I pumped those up to 45 psi. Originally they were at 30 psi, which is I get, you know, most cars are between 30 and 32 psi, but the Tesla is a lot higher than that. Well, here we go, boys and girls. Today was an absolute failure today. I got my big fat rejected sticker for the car. I can't even look at that car right now. Don't even look at me. Today wasn't really that good of a day. Today was, I would say, a failure. Let's see, I also have a flat tire. Oh, Jesus. You know, again, I heard that loud crashing noise. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know, what could that be? Did the car fall off? No. But look, I swear to God, I can't catch a break. I can't catch a break. I can't. I cannot catch a break. I can't catch a break. I just can't. You know, at times like this, you wonder if it's still worth it. You know what I mean? Oh boy. Again, my life is it's just full of failure. I can't do this anymore. I can't. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm taking the car off and I'm driving it home. I don't care. I'm just done at this point. I'm just gonna take it off the trailer, drive it home, and get a ride back from my wife. That's all I can do, really. That's not helping anything. I have to lug this thing back to U-Haul. I missed the majority of the days of work today. It seems like nothing's going right. I don't even know what to say. I really don't know what to say. It's just, you know, things have gotten pretty bad. Things just, you know, the guy was super nice, don't get me wrong. You know, he was very understanding, but he still didn't pass me. There's a lot of things that the car still needs, he says. He wouldn't even let me get the car off the trailer. And I was saying before, there were certain things that he expected the car to have. He wanted me to have a few more receipts for items over $50. So the problem with that is that I can't give someone a receipt for something that I repaired. Let's just say I had a cracked headlight. The dealership says the insurance appraiser says, in order to get this car functioning 100%, you need to have this light fixed or replaced. So you can't put a cost on fixing something yourself. You could put a receipt or a cost on something that you buy new, but if you're fixing it yourself, you can't do that. That was one of the things. I also needed a copy front and back of my driver's license. You know, it's like, really? But you know, those are the rules, and I didn't pass because of those things. It's tough. You know, things like that. It's a huge setback. I'm kind of, you know, moral-wise, I'm not feeling so good about things right now, and it just really stinks. I really had high hopes of getting things done today, but I just couldn't muster it. So, you know, who knows what time I'll get to work today, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know where this is going to go, because my biggest fear is having them say no again. And the biggest thing is above all this that I didn't discuss is that I gave the person a list of the things that I replaced in the car, which is pretty much everything, but they want to see an insurance appraisal report. And you know what? I do not have that. The reason why I do not have that is because Progressive Insurance does not provide the insurance report for flooded cars. They automatically assume that the car is a total loss when it's been flooded, and they don't bother generating an insurance report. So then now what? So if I were to tell the person, hey, I replaced everything in this car, here are the receipts for the things that I purchased, but they want to see an insurance report which doesn't exist, what do you do? And that is my main issue right now. That is my main problem. And she's just in a quandary right now. She's just in a very questionable state where I don't know what's going to happen next. I really don't. I can't go there again and have them fail me again, because they're going to flag the car and say, hey, this thing isn't road ready, or it can't be legalized ever. That's the main thing. The main thing is finding that appraisal, and Progressive won't do it. I called them and they said, hey, we didn't even bother generating an insurance report for this car, because if it's been in the flood, then it's an automatic total loss. We don't write a report for it. There's no documentation on the car. So as of right now, I have a 5,000 pound paperweight in my driveway. And that's the issue with the state, is that they're so focused on, you know, making sure that the car parts aren't stolen, which they're not, and I understand what they're trying to do, but it makes it a big setback for people that are doing things the right way. I have all the receipts, but they're just, and I understand what they're trying to do. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. So what I had to do was I had to drive the car with zero plate just back to my house. Thankfully, it's only a mile away. But, you know, I was stuck with this. You know, I couldn't drive the truck any further on this flat tire, and it definitely couldn't support the weight of the Tesla. So now I'm kind of SOL. You know, so the car's back here. I don't really see myself taking it back to that inspection place anytime soon. I curb rashed one of the wheels. I'm super late for work. I have a flat tire. I haven't eaten a thing today. I probably have to grab McDonald's again. You know how I feel about that. It's just not a good day. Stay tuned to see what my next plan of action is. Again, this is the second time I've gone through this. The first time was just carelessness on my part about me not renting a trailer in time. But this is just, feels like everything's falling apart today. Nothing seems to be going right. But hey, I'm in a mood. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for what the next steps are. Feels like everything's falling apart today. Nothing seems to be going right. But hey, I'm in a mood. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for what the next steps are. Feels like everything's falling apart today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for what the next steps are.
That thing sold for $1,000 plus fees. Wow. I can't help it, man. The bid's at like $100 and something. And you guys will understand why I'm doing this. Wow. We just won it. I can't help it, man. For $150 for a Cadillac SRX. You guys will understand why I'm doing this. We just won it. You guys are gonna die. I'm gonna have to explain to you what happened to the Cadillac and why I just did that. We just won it. You guys are gonna die. All right, let's look at what happened to the Cadillac. Here we go. Completed vehicles right here. We owe $300. I mean, you can't beat that. $300 for a Cadillac SRX? Are you kidding me? I mean, okay, it's got some bumper damage, fender damage. It's got excellent tires all the way around. We've already looked at it. This thing is clean. I mean, okay, very, very clean. Fender damage. It's got excellent tires all the way around. We've already looked at it. This thing is clean. I'm nervous. All right, we're riding in the C6 today. On our way down to the bank to go get a money order and pick this thing up. Looks like it's going to be right around $265. So how about that? $265 out the door after fees for a 2006 Cadillac SRX that looks like it's in immaculate condition, with the exception of a fender, possibly a hood, and possibly a front bumper. The good thing is I got a black SRX that's got all of that. We just may have to do a little painting or something. We'll see if we can find some parts to fix it. It's an enhanced vehicle, so we don't know if it runs. This is risky. You know, I've looked at it, I checked the oil, the coolant, all that stuff, everything looks good. But at the end of the day, this is an enhanced vehicle that may not run at all. So fingers crossed, we got a hell of a deal today for $265. Let's go get her. At the end of the day, this is an enhanced vehicle that may not run at all. So fingers crossed, we got a hell of a deal today for $265. Let's go get her. Have a look at that, would you? Look at that. I think this may be, in fact, I'm pretty certain this is the cheapest car at $265 out the door that I have ever purchased in my life. All right, so we are here at Copart, $265 out and that I have ever purchased in my life. You know, I'm nervous. I don't expect for $265. I don't expect this thing to run. I don't. But I don't see. This is the thing is, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't run. The oil's good. The coolant looked good. Everything under it looked fine. Didn't look like it had any leaks. It looks like it needs a fender. The thing is, possibly a couple other things, but I mean, it looks like it really. The main thing it needs is a fender. Otherwise, it looks like it should run and drive just fine. So let's go in here. Let's pay for this bad boy and let's drag it out here. Throw a jumper pack on it. And see if it runs. Maybe it needs a starter. Let's go in here. Let's pay for this bad boy and let's drag it out here. Throw a jumper pack on it. And see if it runs. Maybe it needs a starter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moment of truth. Here she comes. Ooh, he's moving too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Here she comes. Ooh, he's moving too. There it is. Here she comes. All right, first look. Now that we own it. There it is. All right. Not too shabby. Now that we own it. Not too shabby. So the hood may need to be replaced. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. The hood might be all right. We'll just have to, may need to be replaced. I don't know. Boy, seriously, it took a nice hit over here, didn't it? The hood might sure did. We'll just see if we can get this hood open. Boy, seriously, it took a nice hit. Wow, the hood shocks actually work. Sure did. So we've got our. She took a pretty good hit in the front. I guess I didn't see this. It bent in the condenser core some. Not too bad. Pretty good hit in the front. I guess I didn't see this. Yeah, I wonder if this has got frame damage. Condenser core some. The light is broken, obviously. I wonder if this has got frame damage. We might be able to put this together. I don't know. Have a quick look inside. To me, it doesn't look like it has frame damage, though. It really doesn't. We might be able to put this together. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. One thing I really like about it is that it is clean. It smells good. It looks good. I'll tell you what, though, one thing I really like about it is that there's the fog light that Tim went and grabbed. Hey, this thing is just really, really clean. It looks good. I'll tell you what, though, battery is definitely dead. I expected that. Hey, this thing is just really, really clean. Gonna need a radio. Looks like someone... Battery is no, I did not just break that. Yes, I did. I did just break that. I'm hoping that part might be replaceable. This is nice. Got some change, a receipt. We'll go through it later. We'll go through it later. Right now, let's put a booster pack on. There's the bolts that we're missing. Some of them. We'll go through it later. We'll go through it later. The tires on this thing are just in excellent condition. Good, nice matching tires. That's locked. All right. Well, let's take the key and let's attempt to fire her up. That's locked. All right, let's see what she does. All right. Well, let's take the key and let's attempt to fire her up. That's locked. All right, let's see what she does. All right. Sounds like the booster pack is dead. Here's the wires to the radio over here. Sounds like the booster got some extra wires here for something. I don't know. Someone didn't do a good job taking the radio out of this. I'm hoping this back panel here is replaceable. Someone didn't do a good job taking it. Might be. I see bolts all through it, so I'm hoping we could replace this whole thing. This is really brittle. The whole thing is just really brittle up here. It might be. I see bolts all through it, so I'm hoping we could replace this whole thing. This is really brittle. The whole thing is just really brittle. So our jumper pack is dead. We're going to have to figure something else out. As much as I really regret not being able to give you the first start, the reason is it's got to be after 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's 5:03. This place is closing the gates on us. We've had my booster pack on it. We've had Copart's booster pack on it. Gentleman came out here and spent 20 minutes trying to help me. Eventually, he had to go back and get 2 jumper packs. 2 jumper packs to get this thing fired off. We got her fired up now. She's running. The only light on the dash is a low tire light and a traction control light, so I don't know what that's on for. But she runs. She runs, and she's in gear, so what we're going to do is we're just going to move her real quick. We've got the front end. I'll take you outside for a quick look. We got the front end put together. She runs, and she's in gear. There you go. We're driving. We've got the front end. I'll take you outside for a quick look. She seems to be fine. I just want to make sure turning and everything is good before I try to take this thing on the road. You got the vet sitting right there. She seems to be fine. I just want to make sure turning and everything is good before I try to take this thing on the road. She seems all right. Seems all right. Put her in park. Get out. I'll show you around real quick. Adjust these mirrors. Yeah. She seems all right. Interesting. All right. Put her in the same thing happened to my other Cadillac. These things share so many commonalities. It's crazy. So here's what we did. We zip tied the damn thing together. Is what we did. I'm not going to pop the hood, but we got a zip tie under here holding this on. We got a zip tie right here holding this. We got a couple zip ties up under here holding the bumper up to where this hood is. Hey. Don't knock it. Don't knock it. We got a couple zip ties up under here. It is what it is, man. She runs, and I guarantee you she's going to drive. Don't knock it. We got a couple zip ties. Really runs damn good too. Really does. She runs, and I guarantee you she's going to drive. Got that dealer plate on there. Really runs. Legit to transport to the house. Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, she made it home. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This thing runs so much better. So much better. So much more power. It runs absolutely great, especially in comparison to the other one. The battery is shot. You know, that's normal. We got to run absolutely great, especially in comparison to the other one. The battery is shot. That's normal.
And give it up to Houston's own, the Houston's own legend, Magic 102, the one and only, our uncle, Funky Larry Jones. And give it up to Houston's own.
Appreciate you. One love tonight. Look at you, black people. You're looking good. You look like you came out to party tonight. Before we leave, because we got to do the MLK parade tomorrow morning at 10. I do want to show some love to two men who almost 25 years ago we started this whole revolution on the radio. All my trail riders, independent bikers, independent truck drivers. Y'all been doing this for a long time, but when it got to the radio, there were two artists. One was Step Rito. The other one was Noonie. And because of your faithfulness to these two artists, we've taken this music across the globe. So I want to bring up right now, Step Rito. I want to bring up Noonie. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your pioneers. These are the young men that took this music that people said nobody in the world was going to like. And we showed them everybody likes this music because it's all about one thing and one thing only. That's having a good goddamn time. So that's all it's about. So before we leave, I want to show Step Rito some love. And of course, the man that's putting on this fabulous party, y'all got to give it up for Noonie and the Zydeco Floaters. Nowhere else in the world could you do what we're doing tonight except here in Channel View, here at Herrera's, and because of your vision, Noonie, you got the best party in the city on the MLK weekend. Y'all show them some love. Act like you understand what I'm saying now, God dog it. We can't do this everywhere, and we sure appreciate you. Mr. DJ, let's have some fun, sir.
Yo, what up, this your boy Chris Hardaway, and you in the mix with my homie DJ Mix.
Flower Riders, what's up? Ride 'em.
Yo, what up, this your boy Chris Hardaway, and you in the mix with my homie DJ Mix.
Self-made. 160. Cowgirls with attitude. Bring it back smooth, bring it back smooth. Bring it back smooth. Dope man clean, not the damn stain, no man. Get money. Bring it back smooth, bring it back smooth.
What do we got? 3 things.
And now this is one of the great string of iron shots and as good as I've ever seen, Dottie.
It was, and we saw a lot of
Guess
it
what?
yesterday.
Great news about my
more
job.
of it today. This is
Okay, I'm gonna need for you to like look at me and pay attention. Could you look at me? Wait,
trying to watch
wait,
golf right
wait,
now.
wait. Just look. Stop. Pay attention. Okay, I'm gonna need for you to like. But you're not even looking at me. You know what? It's over. Wait. Just look. Stop. Pay attention.
I know you wanna leave me.
You're not even looking at me.
I know you wanna leave me. But I refuse to let you go. I know you wanna leave me. I know you wanna leave me. I know you wanna leave me. But I refuse to let you go. Can't let go, I gotta hold on tight. The thought of you leaving just don't feel right. It's so bad I can't sleep at night. Can I say a few words to try to make this right? I know you wanna leave me. I know you wanna leave me. But I refuse to let you go. That's right. That's right. I know you wanna leave me. I know you wanna leave me. But I refuse to let you go. Can't let you go, can't let you go, no.
Shiner Sessions.